Hey monkeys, we're back. You watching Guitar Quackery live? I am waiting for my audience. Yeah, no one's here yet. But I have a guitar here on the workbench that you've seen before. Oh, which reminds me, I need to copy and paste a link. Copied, I copied. And now I'm going to paste into a text message, not email, text message. Just find the customer and paste. Yeah. Yeah, I'm charging my phone. And now I send it out. And it goes out. And the customer can watch me in real time. Oh, Dr. HRH is here. He says, hello, doctor. Hello to you, doctor. Doctor? Yeah. So we're going to continue this headstock repair. You know, with things like this, I just kind of work between other projects and other setups or whatever else I'm doing. So it's a multi-stage thing. I got to get this camera out. And today we are going to do phase 1 of the cosmetic repair. I don't have everything set up yet, so I'll do the whole setup and everything. So I don't have everything set up. I only have this set up. Bondo. Okay, this is a auto body filler. It's an epoxy type resin. This, I believe, was some kind of insurance scam by a reverb seller. So they sold a guitar, and it came with a headstock brake that just didn't make a lot of sense at all. So I think the headstock was broken, and they probably had pictures of the guitar without the broken headstock listed out on reverb. I mean, but what can I do? I'm not part of the scam. I'm just repairing the guitar. You know, so. But yeah, so the customer bought it on reverb. And he also thought that, you know, something was just fishy about this whole story. And I'm sure you will agree. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this was the brake, right? And from the back. So I re-glued everything. It's nice and smooth. Here it's, oh, I'm sorry, the brake is here. No, I need to smooth it out a little bit better. Yeah, I can feel it. So there were missing pieces, fragments, okay, which, so supposedly this broke in shipping. So where are the fragments? They should be in the case. Oh, by the way, this is some camera equipment I'm just gathering because I'll be doing a content creator collaboration with Eva Sita. Oh, I forgot to put a link to her Instagram, to her channel. Yesterday's live stream, she was here as a guest. We need to improve how we do these. But all right, it was her second time appearing on this channel. And she'll be appearing on the main channel. So we won't see Eva Sita for about 10 days now. So she's a fashion model with a busy career. And next week is New York Fashion Week. So that's kind of the biggest week in any model's career. So I'm going to be total radio silence. I'm not going to even text her, ask her anything during that week, right? She needs space. But then we already made an appointment for the 15th. Yeah, I got it right here. Oh, no, September 16th, all right? To continue, okay? So will she come here on the 16th? I don't know, but we'll do something because I'm also working with her on her content, right? So maybe we'll do that on the 16th. Now, that's just a little news update here while we are gathering an audience. So yeah, so the guitar came in a hard case with a broken headstock, and I've seen this same scenario before on a Gibson guitar, acoustic, which I ended up buying at a discount from the people, right? I mean, you know, that was like whatever, shenanigans, monkey business. But then, you know, what do you do with the guitar? So, you know, I said, I don't believe that this broke inside of the case, because the other guitar also had missing fragments that weren't in the case. So if it broke inside the case, we need to see them inside, right? So yeah, I think there's a lot of shenanigans like that. And by the way, I will be fixing that Gibson guitar. What is it, a J45 or something? I haven't forgot. I have it at home. It's been sitting there for about a year. And I'm going to fix the Gibson headstock, and I'm going to put a Black & Decker logo on it instead of Gibson. Yeah, that's the idea. Now, this one. It went through a stress test. What's a stress test? Well, I fixed the headstock. I did a structural repair. Now I need to do a cosmetic repair. Before I spend all the time doing a cosmetic repair, I want to know if this thing is going to hold up. So I put the strings at full tension and left it there for about a week. Oh, it's completely out of tune now. Okay, I don't think I need to tune the guitar. The point is that at full tension, nothing happened. So now we can simply remove the strings. These are sacrificial strings, I call them. Strings that we use for one purpose during the repair. The purpose was a stress test. And now we remove them, we throw them away. So if you happen to be a repair technician, right? I mean, this is what you need to do sometimes. You got to bill it to the customer. Now, I'm not really billing these strings. We have a flat fee for this, more or less. I might do it for less, actually. Depending on the hours. But we have a budget. Sorry about the noise. So why don't I just cut the strings off? You can, but, oh, come on. I always, when I restring guitars or when I work on setups, whatever I do, Dr. Huckleberry Magic Hound is here. Doctor, hold on. I do this to test, hold on. This. So that I can test the tuners, right? Make sure they work. But this time also, I don't know if you noticed, I was holding the headstock like this, right where the break was, just to kind of feel if I feel any crackling or anything like that as I'm unwinding the strings, okay? But feel free to just cut the strings at full tension. Nothing's going to happen to the guitar, I promise. And if something does happen to the guitar, you shouldn't buy that guitar, because that guitar is not good. All right. We're going to remove the hardware because we don't want it to damage the guitar as I move the guitar around. And then we are going to, well, obviously, for the cosmetic repair, I'm going to have to also remove the tuners, which is the hardware. I just said we were going to remove the hardware. So yeah, we are going to remove the hardware. So this looks solid to me. Yeah, man. This shouldn't be a long live stream. I hope we get it done in less than an hour. But I'm not worried. I'm charging by the hour. Well, it takes what it takes. All right. So for those of you who are new to this channel, or the two of you aren't new, but there's a third viewer, I do these live streams because Guitar Quackery used to be a guitar repair shop with a YouTube studio. Now it became a YouTube studio with a guitar repair shop. There's a difference. Which means basically I'm more focused on YouTube than on guitar repair. Now, why is that? Well, it's a business, right? So in any business, what's the point of the business? Well, to earn money. How much can you earn repairing guitars? There's a cap. I cannot keep doubling the amount of guitars that I'm repairing. I guess I got to show you this angle, this view. So I'm slowly removing this, right? So that cap is reached easily if you are competent at your job. But when I monetize the YouTube thing, then the same repairs keep paying me even after the customer paid me for the jobs, right? So it's just business, nothing personal. YouTube has a greater potential, which is why it brings me back to the whole collaboration thing. So I haven't even talked to her in great detail about this, and I'm talking about Eva Sita, who was a guest yesterday, my new collaborator. I think she's very serious. I'm serious. Okay. Where I was going with this? Oh yeah, so I've been actually hoping to collaborate with someone, you know, for quite a while. She just showed up as a customer. And things just kind of went in that direction, as in naturally, one day. And then I started checking her out on Instagram and YouTube, and I reached the logical conclusion that a lot of people are more developed on Instagram and YouTube with less to offer. So I say that she is a undervalued artist because she's got multiple skills. Now, what I think might be, I don't want to say hurting a little bit, but she's a model. So, and she's got a lot of modeling stuff on her Instagram. So people might be attracted to that and not realize that she's a composer. She plays piano, the kora, she sings, she can actually sing, right? So I hear a lot of singers here. This is a rehearsal studio, and I hear a lot of singers, and some really good ones sometimes. Most of them obviously average, that's the definition of average, and some like me. So she can actually sing. So check out the live stream from yesterday. And she'll be off the grid, off my grid for until the 16th of September. And we have a meeting scheduled for then because of Fashion Week. Again, she's a model, right? And we had a candid conversation. Her modeling career is going to end at some point. So where does she go from there? because the reality is, you know, everyone wants young models. Younger and young. That's part of the business. That's just how it works. So, because she's smart, she's preparing for that. Yeah? Oh, and because she's smart, she came over here. And started collaborating with the right person. So what I want to do is, I don't need to hype her modeling career. That's been hyped already. I want to work on her music, including dancing. And the thing is that I have some other ideas, because I see the potential, and I have some other ideas that she's not tapping into yet, using her skills. And those ideas are all monetizable, which is what it's all about at the end. Okay, we removed the tuners. I had a bag. Hold on. I just had a Ziploc bag here somewhere. Maybe it's here. One of them. Yeah, this one. So let's talk about the guitar. I will be mixing up some Bondo auto body filler. And that's going to be the first rough stage of the cosmetic repair. And I wonder if I should start sanding the back. Nah, not today. Now we need to fill this too, because there are some fragments missing. I'll try to get a good angle here. And that's what I'm talking about. Well, I think this was some kind of scam. Where is this missing piece? It should be in the case, right? If the headstock broke inside the case. And it wasn't inside the case. So that's missing. And, you know, obviously we need to fill this somehow. I mean, I'm just going to use wood putty, epoxy wood putty. There's glue squeeze out inside, so why don't we just, you know, clean up this glue squeeze out a little bit? Because I don't want to. I don't want to put the wood filler epoxy on top of the Tide Bond. Now here, there's a little gap as well. I can feel it. I can trace it. I think there are some microscopic fragments missing here. There's a fragment missing from here. But I think there might be a little bit of a misalignment. There is a little bit of a misalignment. That's why I feel the step. And simply because we did have a partial end grain fracture, where the end grains don't always, you know, they bend and then you can't put it back together. So you just do your best. I mean, you know, I tried many times to align those end grains, and I removed some. You can watch the previous live streams. At the end, it is what it is. We just need to finish the job. Okay, I think we're good with this for now. Let me put this away. Right here. So, let's see who else is here. Dr. Jeffrey Boyle is in the house, and Dr. Sean Barnes. I got 3 viewers. Okay, only 3. And you see, this channel isn't really growing. So that's why I think my next step is to try to have a collaborator that's going to help me attract and keep viewers. Now, is that going to work for me? I don't really know, but you got to try. If you don't try, and then it doesn't happen for sure. And you know what? I don't like touching Bondo. I'll put gloves, but I do need to look at the fracture closely first. This is going to be, like I said, a multi-stage process over the course of a few days, because, you know, you need to let it dry, obviously. So I'm getting a reflection from the LEDs here. I need a polarizing filter, which I don't have. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the fracture. Those are LEDs from the microscope, which is right here, and which I am... okay, so now I'm just focusing on the microscope so that we can look. And here we go. So I know this part is out of focus because this is at a lower elevation, so now we're just focused at this part. This is some super glue. Yeah, I guess I should scrape it, right? Now we gotta refocus. So the Bondo is going to fill all these gaps. And then, you know, I'm thinking what's the best filler. I've used Bondo before. I could use CA glue as well. Let's clean this up first. Right here. Yeah. I need to just scrape it off a little bit. Where are my blades? Come on. I have a scraper ready to go. It's used one. It's kind of rough, but like I said, right now we are doing just the rough work. And I'm just going to start scraping like this, just to make it even. So we need to hit it from various angles, otherwise you get skid marks. So you see, if you use super glue, which is what this is, you know, it's clear, so you get a nice smooth surface. Yeah, and I wonder if I should use super glue instead. But we are going to spray it anyway. And here, I think this is at a higher elevation than this part here. Which is, I mean, it's uneven, right? Which is why I'm scraping this. And I'm scraping this. But I'm not hitting this yet. So I'm still thinking if I should use Bondo or maybe just CA glue. So as I work through this, I'm thinking. And that's the nature of live streams. I don't know yet what I'll be doing. And I can narrate my thoughts as I work through. So this way, people know my thought process, I guess, if that's interesting. So now why don't I just use black super glue? Well, it acts kind of weird. Every time I used it, I didn't really like the experience. And also, I am going to spray this anyway. First with primer, and then with the actual finish. That's going to be the lacquer that I'm going to put on. Okay. It doesn't feel smooth enough yet. But I think it's good enough for now. All right, I'm starting to feel sleepy. I actually stayed late last night here. I was working on other stuff. I got so many guitars here. I actually ran out of storage. And I need to get them out. So out of the storage space, which I call the vault. Yeah, so I'm inclined to do a super glue job here, not Bondo. I think it's gonna blend better with the lacquer that's already there. So we might need to build this up in stages. I don't know. All right. And, you know, because I don't have black super glue, and not that it makes a difference, I'm going to overspray it anyway. I am just going to use the clear one. Dr. Mark is in the house. He says, doctor, 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 doctor. How many doctor? Doctor, 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 doctor. Good evening to all doctors. Yes. Plastic surgeon required here. That's coming from HRH. Thank you, doctor. Yeah, I didn't, you know, that's plastic surgery. I always think myself as as a doctor for guitars, dentist. Okay, why? Because my favorite jobs on a guitar are the frets and the nut. You know, that's kind of like teeth, dentist. So this is plastic surgery. Yeah. Dermatologist would also be something for the finish. Now, hold on a second. I'm looking for the super glue. I have black super glue here. Oh no, I ran out. Okay. So dermatologist. I guess if you repair the neck, that's kind of like a spine doctor or chiropractor. If you put your hand in the sound hole, that's a guitar gynecologist, by the way. OBGYN. You know, it's like when you do a bridge reglue, or if you go inside the sound hole for whatever reason. Yeah. Some specialize in that. I'm more like an amateur gynecologist, not a guitar gynecologist. Just a hobby. But I'm going to start with, should I start with thin CA glue? I think so. So let's do that. Where I put it? Okay, thin, Pro Formula. That's what we need. And I'm just going to use this. Just drop fill it a little bit. Now, I gotta be careful when I do this, right? I already dropped the camera like this once. The other one, this one. Same one, same camera. The Canon M50. M50 Mark II. Okay, and I broke the HDMI, mini HDMI MMI connection, which is why I can no longer use this for this work. It doesn't work, but it still records. So I just use it for, you know, to record my intros and stuff. On a gimbal, yeah, this is the gimbal. So the camera goes on the gimbal. I'll show you. Now, I might be using this with Eva Sita when we go around shooting, but might not, because I want her Instagram content to look more like social media, which is why we want to use phones. So she uses her phone. I mean, she does post some professional stuff that she gets from, you know, shoots and stuff. But I have a gimbal also for the phone, which is right here, actually. I was just using something from the case before to record the Instagram announcement for the live stream. Now, since we're talking about it, let me just show you quickly. So this is the gimbal for the phone. It looks similar, but you cannot put a camera on it. You can just put a phone. Like that. I won't activate it, but here, right? The camera doesn't fit, but the phone does. And for social media, for Instagram, you do a vertical thing. Come on. And I don't want to use the gimbal all the time. So now I'm not going to activate it because we're busy, but this is what it looks like. So this is the gimbal for camera and phone. And now they're both locked. All right. Enough of that. Back to work. Yeah. You see, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the guitar and how we're going to fix it. Yeah, I'm thinking if I should use the thin viscosity first, or go straight with the medium viscosity super glue. So the thin viscosity would soak into the wood grain more. I think there's an advantage to that. Okay, so that's what I'll do. But I need to put something here. Within the gimbal now. So because Guitar Quackery is, as I said at the beginning, a YouTube studio with a guitar repair shop, not the other way around, I'm showing you the equipment. I hope that makes sense. I did lose a few viewers, so maybe it didn't make sense to them. I don't know. Sometimes people want to know how things are done. And I might do some behind the scenes videos of how I make videos. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, I guess. All right, so I want to put this in the corner securely all the way. Now, why am I elevating it this much? Just to get this, you know, leveled roughly. So it's leveled now, but this is good enough. Okay. I could just push this whole thing back a little bit, and now it's more leveled. Not yet. Or maybe this works. No, it loses balance this way. But I think this is fine. We can just work with this. All right. Let's focus. So here's the plan. We're going to drop fill it. First, drop fill it, overfill it. Then we are going to scrape it so it's flush, so you don't feel it, and sand it. Now, if you spray lacquer on top of that, it's going to show through 100%. So before spraying the lacquer, we are going to spray a coat of primer. Okay? Lacquer goes on top of the primer. So that's what we're going to do. And that's going to take a few days. So now, since we have this here, right, to catch any super glue that might spill, we can start drop filling. And I don't like to place an open or any container with super glue over the guitar, so I'm going to do it here. And you know, I need a sturdy surface, so this is carpet, so that's another issue, potential issue. So we need some kind of board, and I have these boards here, right here, or maybe even better on the other side, so I don't bump into it. Okay, so this is my setup. The super glue goes here. Okay, and now we need to open it and get to work finally. I hope it's still good. I guess it's a good idea to test it. And if it's not good, that will be a bummer. Okay, so I'm just going to test it on the tissue. Yeah, it's good. All right. All right, so I am simply going to start filling. Now, I know that the headstock is out of frame. I cannot push the guitar any further back. It is what it is, but now I give you this view. So this is going to penetrate. like that. It gets soaked into the wood grain. A little too much, no big deal. So we are just priming the fracture with this, with the, like I said, low viscosity super glue. We also like to call it CA glue. It makes it sound more professional. And I'm done with the low viscosity, okay, with the thin. Now, we can wipe off the excess. We're going to be scraping it off anyway. Okay, so the purpose of this layer is just to prime the surface. I could spray it with the accelerator, but I heard, I think from a YouTube video, that it's stronger if you let it just do its thing. So that's what we're gonna do. Just let it do its thing. Yeah, we got time. We got some viewers, 9 viewers. Stefan Skogan is here. I'm sorry, Dr. Stefan Skogan. And he is saluting all the other doctors in the house. Nice. So many doctors. And one of them is even an MD. Oh, look, I got some hearts and new followers on Instagram. Let's check. Today I also got a nasty comment. Well, there's a way to report them and flag them. That's how I deal with deadbeats. Don't get upset, just do the thing. They get flagged. And I don't tolerate like when someone's like calling me names or cursing at me, and you know, just because they didn't like the video. And the video that they didn't like is the video that's getting the most traction, significantly more than any other video. So I have a small Instagram account. So that one right now is reaching 9,000 views. Oh, 8,500 views. And it is this one. So I made this guitar. Come on, rewind. Right? It's a guitar I built out of scraps, and people are asking questions about the guitar, and you know, this is going viral-ish. So I have this guitar, obviously. I just made a video showing the guitar. I am going to make more videos. They're called Reels on Instagram. And I guess I could do a full review here on the workbench. Why not? People seem to love this guitar. It's made out of scraps that would have otherwise have become garbage, going to the landfills. Even a piece of firewood, okay, from a maple tree that I cut. I didn't cut it myself, right? A service came to do it in my backyard. And I kept some pieces from the tree as firewood for the barbecue. And then I think 2 years later, I started building that guitar, and I was missing a piece, so I just chopped a log, right? I chopped, I think maybe like quarter sawn from right from the middle, and you know, that was too thick, and it was just chopped, and then I, you know, surfaced it. What's it called? Before you do planing, it's called I forgot. On a jointer, you do it, right? That's the machine. I have that, and I also have a planer. So I did that, and I used it in the guitar build. So it's now spalted maple there, kind of inserted. So I used wood hardener to harden it. That's what you need to do with spalted maple. But it's dyed red. You can't really see the spalted maple, the spalt, which is a fungus, too much. All right, let's check the guitar. I'm just gonna check with my finger. It's still wet. Okay, we'll just let it do its thing. I think the nut has been re-glued on this guitar. I can tell you how I think I know that. So some shenanigans have been already done to it. We're gonna have a look. Now it's here, so I can't do the microscope. You see, I see super glue, focus, and pieces of whatever it is there. So I'm gonna have to clean up the nut shelf as well. And I think we're also making a new nut on this one. So yeah, that's just gonna be part of the whole job. I'm just waiting. The other thing is if I use accelerator, so this is one thing to really keep in mind. If I spray it here, I can smell it over there. So I noticed in the past when I sprayed an accelerator that later my super glue that was stored over there went hard after a few days. So think about that. If you can smell it, that means it's in the air. And obviously, it somehow gets in touch with the glue. Now, how did it happen? No, I had the open container, and I did put it away, and I sprayed it. But anyway, I kept the container open, so I learned my lesson. Yeah, that's how it was. That was a long time ago. So I'm just vague on the details. So from then onwards, I started practicing spraying outside if I need to use the accelerator, which I do have. And I really hate the smell of it. It's glue boost accelerator. I think it must be really unhealthy. So that's one thing. So if you spray with accelerator, you know, that is something you need to be aware of. And the other thing is that then you spray the surface. So now what happens when you put glue on? Well, it's going to, you know, do its thing. The accelerator is there. So that glue that you're just putting on is going to start to cure. And I don't want that. Because like I said, it's stronger when you don't use the accelerator. Okay. Still just slightly sticky. Let it do its thing. Maybe I read some comments. No new comments. 8 viewers. 1 like. Guys, help me out here. Algorithm, all this. We're trying to grow the channel. I know you just forgot. I forgive you. No problem. Just, you know, do it. You're right there. Maybe you are there. I don't know. Maybe you just left the computer running. Yeah, so let's check the Instagram account. Okay, I got 247 followers on Instagram now. Not bad for like a 3-week-old account. And now there are already more views on that one video. Now it's 8,509 views. Before it was 8,400 and some change. So yeah, so it's getting some views. I got other interesting guitars that I never showed, so maybe I'll start showing them. Obviously, people like unusual stuff. And then I have in the plans to build some guitars that are going to be inspired by someone who plays guitar in a certain way. And it's even going to bear the nickname of that person. But you see, this is not a product I have yet, so I don't want to say what it is. Not because of you, I trust you, the 9 of you watching. It's just, you know, obviously other people are going to watch this video, and who knows who's going to be watching. Beer and Song. Beer and Song says, hey, made it 2 days in a row. Great. Okay. So, the Tony would be a great name. Why Tony? Yeah, I've experimented with different names for guitars. I really never really... Oh, I did come up with one good name, which I'm going to say what it is when I do a video. But the other names, were kind of like, whatever. Because I want to get back into building guitars. And I'm going to be building a Cora, right, for Eva Sita. So if you watched the live stream yesterday, I announced it to her. We're going to be making her a new Cora. Because the work that needs to be done to her Cora would end up taking more time than just building one from scratch. I know that because I know what retrofitting can turn into a nightmare, especially when it was not built to receive the parts that I want to install on the Cora neck, which are the harp levers. So we're just going to make one from scratch, and this way we don't put the instrument that she's using at risk. Just make a new one. She needs 2 anyway, right? Like guitar players need a minimum of 2 guitars. Same thing. Let's see. Is this ready? Yeah. Okay. We continue. Okay. I guess I need a new Q-tip. So I use for this, so I do talk about the environment a lot, sometimes. So Q-tips that I use are bamboo. I hate plastic Q-tips. I think bamboo is the best stick for the Q-tip, as in environmentally friendly, because bamboo is just a grass that grows really fast. And yeah, that's a good thing, right? So hardly any impact, or maybe no impact at all on the environment if you use bamboo instead of wood. I know that some, like a company, at least one company makes guitars out of bamboo. And, you know, I want to check them out, actually. It's a Chinese company, which I'm trying to avoid. But I might check out one of their guitars. Maybe I'll review one of their guitars. So this is medium viscosity. So it is going to shrink. And then we'll talk about, as this is drying, we'll talk about, remind me if I forget, sponsorship deals, because I just had an offer. Okay, so we're putting it on thicker. It's going to shrink a little bit. See, when I set up this job, I really thought I was going to use Bondo. But upon closer inspection, I want to do this as well. There's something chipped here. Just to kind of reinforce the end grain fibers here. Not a bad idea to do it here as well. I think when the guitar took a hit, the hardware also kind of moved here inside and kind of crushed some grain. Friends, I think this is okay for now. All right, we have this here. So we can talk about things while this is doing its thing. I'm gonna throw the first Q-tip away. I didn't want to use it for the second glue because I didn't want to mix the two. I don't know if it does anything chemically. Yeah, this looks good. All right, let it do its thing. It's gonna take a while. Oh, I forgot this part. Here there's also a fracture. I need to fill it. I know it looks a little ugly, but we're gonna scrape it anyway. And for those of you who just joined, I don't like the way black super glue behaves. You can feel that it's different. And we're gonna overspray this anyway. So this is why. Okay, so now let's talk about channel sponsorships. Now we're going to talk about this because I said it a few times, but maybe we have some new viewers. This used to be a repair shop with a YouTube channel. And now I'm calling it a YouTube channel with a guitar repair shop. So my focus is more on YouTube than guitar repair. It's still a business, as in guitar repair business, but I've been weaning out of guitar repair for a while, of doing like high volume guitar repair, which I used to do. I used to do like 40-ish guitars per week, and that would range from small jobs to big jobs. I don't take small jobs anymore. No restringing. No. Whatever the guitar needs is what we're going to do to be done, right? Whatever needs to be done to get it to its best playable performance, right? That's it. Because I don't want someone to walk out of here with a dirty guitar with fret cheese on and then say, hey, I got this job done at Guitar Quackery. They changed the strings. Oh, wow, the guitar looks like this. I'll be sure not to go there. Okay, whatever. I'm done with restringing anyway. People come with one broken string and say, hey, can you do this? Like what, interrupt my headstock repair just to change one string? Now, oddly enough, Eva Sita came here with a Cora. See, I need to tell the story when she's here. I meant to tell the story while she was here. I gotta write it down. Please, let me write it down. I'm gonna write it on my computer. Okay. Just give me a moment because I keep forgetting what to do. Just in general. So, Eva Sita. Sita. Next live stream. Next show. how she came to be. Okay, just a quick reminder. Thank you. Um, so since I started saying this, and I know I'm going to talk about sponsorships while this is doing its thing, right? It needs to dry and cure. There's nothing I can do unless I want to spray, which I don't. Um, so she came, and obviously I didn't know her. And she said, oh, hey, my name is Eva. I have a Cora. Do you know what that is? And my output jack is broken. So on that day, a female potential customer texted me, and I kind of forgot her name. It wasn't Eva. And I thought maybe that's her. And I said, oh yeah, because to that customer, I texted my link to make an appointment. But then I wasn't checking, and this is silenced, right? Normally, I wasn't checking my text, my messages to see if she actually made the appointment. So I thought maybe that's her. And I said, do you have an appointment? Oh, no, I don't. I didn't know I had to have one. And I sensed a little French accent. So I asked her where she was from. She's from the Ivory Coast. She speaks French, obviously, like anyone from the Ivory Coast, I assume. But she also lived in France. So I liked that. So we started speaking in French. And then I said, yeah, you know, minimum service here is what I just explained before, you know. But then I'm looking at the instrument. I'm saying, this isn't a guitar. There's no fretwork. And she was saying that she's from the Ivory Coast and that her performance is tomorrow. And I've helped out visiting musicians before. And yesterday I couldn't. So yesterday when I was with Eva, 2 guys came from Australia. I couldn't. I was in the middle of a live stream, right? So I can't help you. There was a collapsed pickup on an Acoustasonic. I don't want to get into that nightmare. I told them to go to Guitar Center. Maybe they would do it for them, right? Because they do walk-ins sometimes, if they can. So what I thought first that she was saying was that she was from the Ivory Coast visiting and doing a gig. And I'm not going to leave a visiting performing musician stranded in New York City just because I have my principles. So I said, okay, you know, do you know her? Yeah. So Julie, yeah, okay. You.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah. So she got a guitar giveaway. For those of you who haven't seen that live stream, she didn't have a case, and I said, I'm giving away the guitar. I'm not giving away guitar cases. So now she brought the guitar case. Yeah. And this is just a guitar case, right? It's not a foldable guitar. Yeah. Bye-bye. All right. So she brought back the guitar case. And where was I? See, I'm just talking because this is drying. I still see that it's still wet. Okay. I can tell. Yeah, so I never want to leave a musician who's visiting. You know, they're looking forward to a performance in New York City. You know, what kind of experience would that be? To not have an instrument. So last time I helped someone from Australia, I gave them a guitar and they used it on stage. And, you know, I looked at their issue and then I still fixed their guitar. It was like a high fret and some fret sprout, so, yeah, whatever. I didn't even charge them. So they had a great experience. They were like a duo, I guess. I don't know, a singer and a guitar player. I couldn't go to their gig, but they were very grateful, and we're still in touch now, okay? From Melbourne. What was her name? Amalia, and her guitar player, I assumed boyfriend, traveling together. So, anyway, I took Eva's Cora, and I didn't want. So she read the Chinese proverbs that are outside. She says, "I like your signs," and one of the signs says, "No, it's just regulars here. You've seen the sign before." So I'm gonna show it just for the new viewers. So this is one of the signs, what it says. And so she pointed that out. And then the other sign is a crystal ball with a sign in front that says, "When will my guitar be ready?" Question mark. Here's the crystal ball. So those are the frequently asked questions. How much will it cost? When will it be ready? So those frequently asked questions are answered for all new customers. And I didn't want to charge her. Plus, by then, I kind of already I had good communication with her. I said, you know what, output check, whatever. I'll do it for $45, although I knew that it might be more. And it turned out to be more. Okay, so whatever. You know, I was thinking about money as I was working. But the live stream came out pretty good. And the focus here is now that this is a YouTube studio with a guitar repair shop, not the other way around. So I thought we'll leave it at $45 because I wasn't warning her that it would be more. And then we wrapped up the live stream. And then she said, "Oh, this was so great." And she really liked the cameras and everything. Can we do this more? Can I come back here and do more? I don't live far from here. I can just come. And as soon as she said that, I immediately thought of what my plans were, because I've been hoping to find a collaborator. And by then, I knew that she was on social media and everything. I knew a little bit about it by then. And I thought, you know what, $45, that's not going to make me or break me. It's already discounted heavily. I said, you know, forget about the bill. You don't owe me anything. Let's talk about working together as collaborators, and I'm going to sponsor you. Oh, yes. Okay. Anyway, so that was that. But she's got a very busy life, and she just didn't have time, but we were in touch until yesterday. And now she won't be available until the 16th of September because of Fashion Week. That's the biggest event in her modeling career every year, right? So I'm not going to be bothering her during that time at all. So that's that. And now I want to talk about sponsorship. So I checked out her page with her sponsors and all that, as she has a price list listed, which I guess it has pluses and minuses, right? To just have it displayed like that. And I mean, she's charging good money, but not as good as I know that some other people are, with less to show. So I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna help her take that into a different direction while she's helping me with my channel. And I told her the two things that I want from her is I need to build up a female audience and better audience retention. Those are the two things. I got some ideas which we'll see if they develop or not. So now, the sponsor that contacted me was Geiker. Very dishonest email. They contacted me for the second time. Let me try to find the email. First of all, one thing that don't appreciate ever is, man, I got so many emails. Did I maybe delete it already? Let me search by Geiker. Where's the search? So if you check, oh, there it is. If you check the Geiker website, you will see products that are exact copies of brand names. No mention of, no credit to the brand name. No mention of we're licensed by so-and-so. Nothing. They just reverse engineer and make it and sell it. And they don't give a penny to the originator who invested money and time into R&D of the product. So that's already something I don't like, right? That's already like dishonest. And here it says, hey, Guitar Quacker, I'm Fair from the Geiker marketing team. I've been following your channel. Oh, really? I wanted to ask her, oh, which are your favorite videos? And I really admire how you bring your unique personality and style into every review. Okay? I mean, yeah, I try to, but that's very generic. Your ability to connect with your audience through both your music and gear. My music, you see? I don't play music. I mean, I do, but I don't play music on the channel. Music and gear is exactly what we strive for at Geiker. At Geiker, we focus heavily on design, as in design of others, I guess, creating products that stand out with bold, distinctive aesthetics while still offering great functionality. Whether it's our GM18A Mortiz-style roller bridge with its smooth movement and retro look, or any of our other products, blah, 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 okay? We'd love to collaborate with you on YouTube video, where you can share your thoughts on our products. We're also offering a 10% commission on any sales, blah, blah, blah. So someone else contacted me from Geiker a few months ago. I already talked about this on this channel. And they contacted me, oh, collaboration. So I said, okay, what's your offer? And then wrote back to me, so do you have any ideas, as in me? Well, you know, you're calling me, right? You're initiating this. So once again, I said, well, what do you have in mind? And their answer was, well, what do you have in mind? So I just sent them my price list. So now some of you know, I used to work in advertising, and this is advertising. I know what advertising rates are because it's advertising. So I checked out some of their reviews on YouTube, and most of them were, sorry, I'm checking this. Yeah. Small channels. Yeah, it's getting there, but I can't move it just yet, right? So it's got to do its thing. So we talk. It's more like a real live stream now. By grace, I'm saved. Just enter the house. He says hi to everyone. Just by the way, if you haven't seen that, logged on. So I saw that most of the channels, except one, that reviewed Geiker products were small channels in the, you know, 4 figures in terms of subscriber count, just like mine. Some even smaller. And the reviewers were like, oh, I was surprised to be, you know, that they approached me for a review, ta-da-da, and look at this. So I had a feeling they just wanted to send a product and in exchange for a review. I'm not doing that. So I sent them my price. I said, you know, high quality review, da-da-da. I already knew they're not going to accept it. But that's it. And also, I didn't tell them, if you send me a product that's a copy of someone else's product, I'm going to say that, right? Even if you pay me. So, but anyway, they didn't even write back, which I knew was going to happen. So this Geiker person, September 2nd, they sent it. Today is September 4th. Okay. So I wrote back to them. I haven't heard back. I doubt that I will, which is fine. So now, I've used Geiker products, tuning machines, before, and a bridge, I think, that I bought for, a job. And they make quality products. Hold on. The problem is, a lot of them are copies, like I said. Why do they even need to do that? Well, think about it. Because people want that look, all right? So they're ripping off a developer, and they're not paying them, but while they're making a profit. See? It doesn't sit well with me. And, with those values, which don't align with my values, it's not surprising that they are seeking free reviews. Now, I said that all but one channels that I saw were reviewing Geico products were small channels. I found one bigger channel. I think it was like in the tens of thousands of subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if they paid that channel or not, but clearly they're approaching smaller channels because they know that smaller channels don't have sponsors yet, most of them, and therefore they're more likely to bite. And that's a manipulative tactic. So not really the people I want to be in business with. It's really not going to make me or break me. But I'm not doing, I'll do paid reviews, but the emphasis is going to be on the word paid, because I'm not doing an ad for pennies. Not reviews of guitars, but I'll review guitar products and guitar parts, as in paid, right? Yeah. And then I'd like to have sponsors for the channel that are not, that don't create any conflict of interest with what I'm reviewing. So if a sponsor is an internet service, whatever, right? Or NordVPN or whatever, well, I say that, and we're reviewing a guitar, but you need internet, even if you're just a guitar player. So, because I think if I look at the bigger picture, and I might change my mind about that one day, I don't know, right? But right now, I think the bigger picture is that it's better. Slow growth is better than, get rich quick, I think. No, I know, all right? Slow growth. So I'm growing it slowly, and I'm keeping my values, clear. I am a consumer advocate, okay? So I buy a guitar with my own money, sometimes for myself, sometimes just to review. A random pick for a review. If I'm buying for myself, obviously I am going to look at the guitar closely before I commit to buying it. And then I review that, and I don't owe anyone anything. Or a customer buys a guitar like this one that's here, that came yesterday. I kind of quickly reviewed it, if you saw that live stream. It was a Firefly guitar. Fantastic guitar. I was really surprised. First time I see a Firefly. But if a customer brings a guitar, especially if it's a brand new, I've done reviews of those. Yeah, to me, it's a brand new random guitar that just walks into the shop. That's the review. And that's an unbiased review. Oh, lost my balance for a moment. Friends, this still needs some time. So this is how it is. I can't put the guitar in the case. And I need this to shrink a little bit and stiffen to see what we got. But I won't be doing the scraping today because I need that to cure at least overnight before we do the scraping. Yeah, so let's talk more about this. So why are people leaving now? See, now I'm doing more of a traditional, conventional live stream. I'm talking. But give me some comments, you know. I need to be inspired to talk about something. Let's check Instagram. So what was the view count on that video? 8,509 views, right? That popular video about the guitar made out of scraps. I made many guitars out of scraps, but that one, people are now, it's a ES335 looking guitar. Okay, so 8,667 views in a few minutes. It's going to be 10,000 views before the end of the day, I have a feeling. So I think that Instagram, just like YouTube, they see if a video is, or they call it a reel, getting traction, and they just push it more as suggested content. Yeah. Or maybe in addition to that, I had a good opener of the video. So I'm going to make another video, reel, I keep saying video, of the same guitar when this, the view count kind of starts to fade. Because I can do these real quick. By grace I am saved says, any recommendations for someone wanting to learn to work on guitars? I got plenty of recommendations. So if you are in a bigger city or at least close by, get a whole bunch of you know, cheap guitars on I don't even know if Craigslist is still the thing, but Facebook Marketplace, whatever, and work on those. So you'll have plenty of work on those guitars. You know, you can start leveling the frets, you can change the nut, the saddle. So if it's an acoustic, it's probably dried up, right? A cheap guitar in the winter, so therefore you start experimenting with rehumidification, which again, if you watch this channel, it's all explained because this is unedited content here. So, you know, you just, whatever it is that you want to work on, look at the archives on Guitar Quackery Live. Now, the only thing is that, which is this channel, those are live streams, unedited. Therefore, it takes time to watch through. But, you know, there's a double speed button and you can skip, obviously. I'm going to be also posting on the main channel exclusive videos which are going to be edited of the same knowledge being shared. But since I take my time to edit, so that people don't need to skip and search, they're going to have to pay for it, right? So it's either convenience, you get it for free through this channel, or if you want the convenience, then you pay for me to edit it for you, right? Simple. So continuing. So acquire tools. Start with the tools that you absolutely need first. So you're going to need a straight edge. Those are expensive, but fortunately now Music Nomad came up with these tri-beams the two of them. So maybe why don't I place them here so I can put a link in the description for you. So these, so this is a notched straight edge, 2 different scale lengths, plus a straight edge. This is 3 straight edges with a scale length finder. This is a long straight edge, 12-inch. This is a 6.5 inch. I'm sorry, 17.6 inch and 6.5 inches. This one. Those are used, you know, like for rocking, the smaller ones, or maybe a mandolin or something. I never used it on mandolin. I don't know if it would work. Would probably work, right? Oh yeah, I said I would put the links. I can even do it now. So, feeler gauges, straight edges. I don't, bear with me. And tri-beam. Oh, no. Tri-beam. So only one of them is sold on Amazon. The other one you can get through. Okay, let me edit the description. Save. Okay. So the other one, I guess you can get through, unless now it's listed. Could be, right? Through Music Nomad. You are going to need some kind of neck rest. The best possible neck rest you can have is this one. For leveling the frets if you don't have a neck jig, which you wouldn't have when you're starting. But don't level the frets on this Music Nomad cube. This is what you want, okay? You're gonna need something to level the frets with, and you're gonna need self-adhesive sandpaper rolls. Now, I don't know if this is an option for you, but you can pick up a free leveling beam if you have, sorry, it's the cable. Countertop company, I'll show you, that makes countertops. So I picked this up. I never actually used it. I did use the small one. So this is nice and heavy. Gravity can do its thing when you're leveling the frets, okay, with a nice and heavy one. So this is, I don't know what stone this is. It isn't granite, but they cut it super straight. I mean, you know, those machines are aligned. And, well, I was lucky because on my bike ride, there is this countertop company. Every week, there's a dumpster full of these things like that. Different sizes and granite, whatever, you know, marble, whatever it is that they're cutting into countertops. Well, bear with me. Now, if you don't have this, get Spirit Level. It's one of those. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. You can use this to level frets at a professional level. I use all the time. Here I bought a really long one. I think it was like a 6-foot one, and I cut into, but it was just a Spirit Level, right? I cut smaller pieces out of it, which I've never used. So now, why do I have so many? Because I don't like to change the grits. So if I want to have different grits, it's good to have, you know, a few. I put this back. But yeah, a Spirit Level is fine. It's not too expensive, and it works perfect. You can also just buy the Music Nomad leveling beams. Actually, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Because this is kind of like, they call the I-beams. I'm going to put a link to that. beams. Beam. Oh, I see. There's 6. Radius sanding beam. No, beam. Music Nomad. L beam. Okay. Let me put links to that. And then let me show you what they look like. Actually, that might be even now more economical. So the reason why people were buying Spirit levels in the past, I guess now it's in the past, because the, good, real, true, straight leveling beams were expensive. But now Music Nomad, which is a fantastic company, maybe 9 months ago, or maybe it's a year ago, they released these products. There's one in between as well, I think, size. L-beams, they call them. And you can put 2 different grids, 1 grid on each side. And these are fantastic, okay? You're gonna need a string action gauge. So I gotta reach across the guitar now, but let me check the guitar. No, it's still not ready. The best string action gauge, in my opinion, that works for me, and you can feel free to disagree, right, is this one, okay? I've tried many. So this is the StewMac. It's nice and thick, and they have one in metric, and they have this one is the imperial. So I really like to use the inch one because of the increments being 10, 20, 30, 40, etc., right? The metric one, which I don't have here, goes, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1.0, 1.25, 1.50, 1.75, etc. Which is fine. I can work with that. But you have to agree that these numbers are just easier. Sometimes you make mistakes when you do mental math, and this is just better, right? I mix metric and imperial when I work on guitars. So that's what you need. I also recommend Music Nomad files. So those are diamond files. Diamond file, not files. Okay, let me copy and paste that and put it in the description. And all the links are Amazon affiliate links, which pay me a small commission at no extra cost to you. I have to say that. And, I can't say buy it through that so that it helps the channel. That's also a violation of not Music Nomad, Amazon terms of affiliate terms. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not allowed to say that. So I didn't say it. I just said that I'm not allowed to say it. Okay. Okay. Okay, Bear and Song. Talking about your guitar building, are you going to lean more towards electric or do some acoustics? I can't do acoustics now. Because you need to be really, really jigged up for acoustics. So you need to build the jigs for the body of the guitar for your guitar model. And I can build those jigs. It's not a problem. I have never done it. But those jigs take up a lot more space that I'm willing to take up in my basement for that. If I knew that people would be buying those guitars for thousands of dollars, then yeah, But electric and arch tops, sure, I can do that. Hollow body, but not acoustic. Yeah, it's a little different when you do like a semi-hollow. So that, yeah. But one thing that you need for acoustics also is a big radius dish. So, for the soundboard of the guitar. It's not a flat top, right? Even if it's called a flat top guitar. So those jigs, they take up a bunch of space. Okay, I can't deal with that. Yeah. By Grace I'm Safe says, that's great. Thank you so much. I'm subscribed to all your channels. Will use your links. Thank you, doctor. And Beer and Song says, it is different. That is what I was wondering. That is what I was wondering. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I have a guitar model, which is a variation on an existing model that I can copy because, okay, it's a Telecaster. So you can't copy a Les Paul. Okay, Gibson will go after you. But a Telecaster you can. You just can't put Fender on the headstock. You got to change the headstock shape. That's the rule. I called Fender. Okay, that's what they told me. So the variation of the Telecaster guitar that I'm going to be building, I hope soonish, is going to be different in some ways. Again, I can't say too much because what's the point? I'm not doing it yet. But it's going to be a little bit unique for certain people who are looking for that. Yeah. Let's check the subscriber count. I mean the view count on that video. So what did we say? It was 8668, right? Something like that. Is this refreshing? Oh, 8749. Look at that. So, yeah, it looks like people want to see what guitars I'm building. Okay. I guess we will be building guitars one of these days. Soon-ish. Somebody liked. No comments. Okay. Let's close Instagram. So, if you have other questions, please. Otherwise, maybe I should end the live stream and just let this sit for a while longer. That's what I think I should do. It's a busy day today, so I don't feel safe putting it, like all the studios are taken, I think. So I'm going to check if there's a free studio where I can place this guitar for a few hours. I like it to be Studio One. And I don't really want to place it anywhere else, but it's taken. Because in Studio One, I can watch. Or even Studio 2 right there. But, yeah, I don't want to put it in another studio. So it's either here, Studio 1, or Studio 2. That's where it needs to be. Right now it's here. So I guess I can still talk a little bit. Oh, let me check my email. Oh, friends, today I received... So if you follow Guitar Quacker on Instagram, I made a few announcements, kept making a few announcements, that I'm discussing some potential good thing with two parties. One party being an individual, and now you know who that was. It was Eva Sita. The other party being a corporation. Now, I can't announce that yet, which corporation. But I met the CEO in person. That I can tell you. Initially. In person. He made the connection to one top-level executive of the company, right? Because the CEO doesn't do the legwork, right? So for what I'm trying to do with that company, he put me in charge with the number one person at the top in charge of that entire branch of the company. And he said, write to him and CC me. And he said that 2 times. Okay, so I did that. So now that top executive brought in another top executive of that same company that is in charge of the related part of that branch and answers to him, right? So slightly below, but kind of like a side branch. And again, I can't tell you what it is. And I sent them my written proposal, which I took a few days to write. And they said that they're really interested. And when could they meet? And they sent me a date. I said, oh, I'll be away, Chicago, during that time. So either the following week or I think I said like Monday, yeah, because this was on Friday when we were talking, when they sent the email. They didn't want to wait for me to come back from Chicago. They said, no, we want to do it on Monday. Okay, that was already a good sign, right? So we had a Zoom call on Monday, that Monday, before Chicago. And then I sent them some more materials. They had time to digest, and they requested another Zoom call, which we did, which went really good, I think. And today I just received an email that they want another Zoom call. They gave me a date, and I replied yes, obviously. What else am I going to say? I'm approaching them. So, and here's the thing. Should I tell you this? So, my collaborator is Eva Sita, right? My main objective with the company is to do something. I'm not in focus, right? Sorry, the camera. Something that I've been trying to make happen for many years, just in general, and now I approached that company. It has to do with me building guitars in a way, okay? But it's really not about guitar building. It's just going to have to be done in order to get the actual project done, okay? But it isn't about selling guitars. It is not about building guitars. I can tell you that. But I have an idea how my collaboration with Eva Sita could also be somehow incorporated into a mutually beneficial thing. I have not discussed that with them yet because it's just too premature. I will when it comes with the actual proposals. But the idea is in my head already. And, you know, maybe everything will come together nicely. Maybe the whole thing's going to fall apart. You know how it is. I don't know. Oh, there's a retracted message. Well, were you cursing at me or something? Let me check the guitar. This is looking completely dry here. So this is dry. But this, not yet. I can tell. I know you can't tell from this angle the way the light hits it. But this is, oh, this a little tacky still. It's okay. We might need to fill it again. See, what just happened is I reached for the switcher and I knocked this, but it had a cap on. Aha. I hate spilling super glue on the carpet, which means, let's put it here. Duh. I need to also start doing more 3D scanning of guitars because I did invest in the scanner and it's paying back. What am I sitting on? That's Something felt weird on the chair. Yeah, but I have a collaborator who is a subscriber to the channels, who's helping with this. So I said I would send him something, and I just don't have the proper guitar to send him the scan of. And I did tell him that I have these things on the burner now, which was my collaborator and the company. And he said, no, take your time, right? Obviously. What else is he going to say? That's the only reasonable thing. Oh, I'm just checking my messages because my phone is silenced, and I am working. This is the middle of my work day. The end of it, hopefully. I got more guitars to work on. Okay, so this is now 8 p.m. I believe maybe they will be done at 8 and I can put the guitar there. We'll see if they come out. Which means we're going to end the live stream if that happens, because I can put the guitar safely in the studio. Grandpa Joe says, guitar quackery. You may be riding home in the rain tonight. Ah, really? Stay safe on the ride home. Is that so? I didn't check the weather before leaving the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I don't even have my raincoat. Oh, how stupid. Yeah, I didn't bring it. And it's going to stop raining after midnight. Yeah, I don't want to get soaked. I think I'll be riding home after midnight. I went to bed last night at, let's see what the app says. My health app. Oh, my sleep. Sleep. What time? 5:30-ish, I guess. I'll show you. Where's the focus? So yeah. What does this say? That's 5 a.m., right? That's 6 a.m. So around 5:30-ish, I went to sleep. This is awake time, sleep, sleep, sleep. I woke up before 9, after 8. 8:35-ish, 40-ish, I guess, right? And I did fix my sleep. I can show you that as well. I mean, I'm working towards fixing it. So once again, this is what I just showed you. And okay, like this. That's by day. By week. Come on. Why isn't it working? Okay. So this was yesterday, last night. But you see here, before 3 a.m., here around 3 a.m., so here right after 1 a.m. So this is better than my normal thing. Look, sometimes, right? So this was what we were just looking at here, but everything else is like that. All over the place. So the problem is that my line here is jaggedy. So it should be more like, you know, straight line, always go to bed at the same time. So I was hoping not to go to bed too late tonight, but it looks like I'm going to go to bed around 3 a.m. again if I leave here after midnight, before 1 a.m. And, you know, these weather forecasts, you know, they shift. they're not always accurate. Let's see, Saturday, rain again. In the afternoon and evening and night. Sunday, rain until about 8 a.m. That'll change, right? Obviously. But tonight, okay. And now I feel a little hungry. I only ate this morning, and I before that I ate. I guess that makes it about 36 hours prior. So, yeah, I already talked about that. And some people on the channel were already telling me to fix that. So what happens is, now I'm feeling hungry, but I don't have any food. And I'm going to stop feeling hungry. It's already fading away as we speak. And then I'll just forget that I was hungry. My. I don't have coconut water, but I did put some electrolytes in the water. You can do that. I put Epsom salt and salt, just a little bit. Sometimes I put apple cider vinegar. After midnight, let it all hang out. Yeah, it'll be just peaches and cream. That's coming from Dr. Jeffrey Boyle. By grace I am saved says, you only sleep 3 hours, question mark? That's rough. I was more than 3 hours, right? From when to when, I forgot. 5 hours, right? 4 hours, 4.5, 5 hours. Something like that. So let's go back to, 3 hours and 15 minutes. But that was just yesterday, yeah. But 4 hours and 24 minutes, 4 hours and 38 minutes, 4 hours and 6 minutes, 4 hours and 7 minutes, 4 hours. No, I really need to sleep. 3 hours and 51 minutes. Yeah, your math was correct. 3 hours 51, 4:39, 5:24. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I do need to fix that. So I have a sleeping disorder, now you know, and I have an eating disorder. So those two things I need to fix. Now, what's also true is that the app doesn't log if I have a nap, which I sometimes do. And I might take a nap, although now I'm not feeling sleepy. All right. So it's past 8 and they're still inside, so I guess they're not wrapping up at 8. No comments. Sorry, by grace I'm saved says, sorry to hear that, brother. Yeah, it just became like that. Didn't used to be. But it is now. I need to fix that. Okay. And, you know, there was something wrong with me about a year ago. Let me see if I find that. So then it was kind of, you know, almost like the other way around. I was just losing weight, lose, and I try to eat, and I was eating, and the body just wouldn't absorb the food, I guess. Can I put it this way? No. All right. So when was that? In April 2024. Yeah, it was really scary. So, all right. So, my weight. So, coming from like around here, and then I wasn't like taking my weight, and then I noticed that I'm losing weight. So and then I actually bought a scale, and I was logging these things, and then, oh, sorry, this was off screen, right? So from here, so this was probably like steady here, right? And then I noticed that something dropped, so I took my weight, and then that actually this is showing an average, because I'm in a 1 year mark, right? So I guess if we go, I don't like the way this app works. And then I started regaining some weight, right? And now it's here again, dropping. But here is for a different reason than it was here. Here I was eating normally and then trying to even eat more than normal. And the weight was just dropping. So here is now I'm not eating enough. So where was it? Here. It's fine. This is an okay weight for me. The weight, well, it depends how tall you are, bone density, muscle, right? So weight and water content, right? And fat, obviously. So weight isn't just necessarily showing only the fat, obviously. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so Grandpa just says the tape recorder in your head is not turning off. Tape recorder in your head. What do you mean by that? You're always thinking. I guess that would be the tape player then. Yeah. Aren't we all always thinking, right? That's what the brain is for. So interesting you say that, because okay, I don't want to talk again about Eva Sita, but I did write her an email about that while she was away, because we had agreed that we would be doing this, and we said let's not announce anything until she's back from. She was in Detroit, and so she does travel a lot, right? With either with the music or with the modeling. What else? I don't think dancing. She said that she's ready to move forward. She just wants to iron out only one little detail, right? And when she comes back, okay. So because I knew that whatever she's going to say, the detail is, how serious could it be that I wouldn't agree, right? Okay, so in my mind I was like, okay, we're working together, right? So I was already brainstorming. So the way I do that is I take notes in Notes app on the phone. So either when I'm on the bike, and then I pull over and I just write down the notes, or just when I walk around or whatever, and I just make notes. So, because I don't want to forget, right? So I wrote her an email saying, listen, we have a meeting, for your Cora to like work on it, but I really want to just have a creative meeting with you, because I just had like a creative brainstorm here for the past, week or so. Which is why yesterday when we were streaming, I said, "Guys, we got to go because we got to talk, right?" So, yeah, I think everyone is like that, right? I have periods when there's just a lot of creative thought processing happening in the head, I guess. Tape player, I would say, not recorder. And you know what's funny? When I started reading your chat about the tape recorder, before I read the words in your head, I thought you were talking about my reel-to-reel tape recorder / player that appeared in one of the Instagram posts. And I thought you were going to ask me something about that. Because I still have a reel-to-reel. Actually, to be honest with you, I have quite a few of them. I have so many, I need to think before I tell you how many. Maybe about 8 or so. Okay? And some of them don't work proper. I mean, they need to be serviced, right? So I have reels, reel-to-reel reels for reel-to-reel tape players. And sometimes I buy them on eBay. So I have a small collection. And I play them to listen to music whenever I feel like it. And I have a record player. And I have records, obviously. And I also have a Tefi phone player. Tefi. T-E-F-I phone. F-O-N. Check that out on YouTube. T-E-F-I-F-O-N. Tefi phone. I have 3 of them. And only one of them is fully functional in my living room. Maybe I'll make an Instagram post showing the Tefi phone player that I have fully functioning. So those are cassettes with a vinyl tape in it. Let me check the guitar. I'll tell you what it is. Just a little puddle here, right? Left over. Okay. I think it's going to require a second layer. We'll see when it all dries up completely. So they invented shellac records first. No, I mean they invented Edison wax cylinders, right? Whatever. But records to play music, shellac records. Then vinyl records came after that, I think, right? 45s, singles, and 33 revolutions per minute, right? Albums. And they would last only, whatever, the album. So, so before they invented those stacked automatic record changers and jukeboxes, a German company came up with Tefiphone. So long play tapes that would be an endless loop going through the cassette, and the recording on it was like a vinyl recording. So there's an actual stylus, like the stylus from a record player, that goes against the tape as the tape is passing. And the tape has grooves like between my fingers, obviously a few dozen of them, I guess. And it's about this width, the tape, whatever that is. And I think it's 22 millimeters. So it's German symmetric, right? And because it's an endless loop, so they would have these tapes in various formats in terms of how long play, so extended play, etc., right? So they had cassettes that would play like, I think the maximum is like 4 hours or so. So it was invented, I think, in 1954. The inventor, I think his last name was Daniel. I forget his first name. First invented this system as a recording and playback device. Big machine, right? That was the first ever answering machine idea. And the world wasn't ready for that. People making phone calls didn't want to talk to a machine. So that was before World War II in 1930 something, 4, I think. Then that idea got scrapped. After the war, World War II, I think it was in 1954. Maybe it could have been earlier. I don't know. Got to refresh my memory. Got to look it up on the internet. They said, why don't we use this technology for music playback because of this issue, you know, like you got to keep changing records. And that was a big hit in Germany. They eventually sold to the United States under a different name, not Steffiphone, but I forget what it was, only for 1 year. And that was the first stereo version of it. And also the stereo version appeared under the Steffiphone name for sales in Germany and Europe. So it's just a fascinating technology. It's a cassette about this thick, like the cover of this, can. And there are 2 sizes cassettes, but even the big size, some of them are 1 hour, but I think some of them are up to 4 hours, depending on how much tape is wound inside. And you could also buy just a tape about, like an endless loop tape, like that, and put that on the Steffiphone player as well. That also existed. I have a little collection of these Steffiphone tapes. They're called Teffi tapes. And I have, like I said, 3 Steffiphone players. 2 of them I need to service. Now, why do I have 3? First one I bought from Germany, got shipped to me, and it wasn't packaged properly, and it got banged up. And the glass broke, and the cabinet kind of broke. I had to glue it back together. It's working fine, but I need to recap the radio and amplifier in it, right? So the versions that I have are tube radios with the thing that opens on top, and then you have the player on top, like you would have back in the day, tube radios with a record player. So this was a Steffiphone player. So then I bought another one, the second one, which is the one I have in my living room now. So first of all, I fixed the broken cabinet, and I think I might have even recapped the unit. Recap meaning change the capacitors, but I never found a glass. The tube radios have a glass, right, with channels written on it, and so I think it's actually fully functional. It's been years, I don't know. Then I said, well, I want a Steffiphone player that's not broken, right? So with the second seller, I said, you're gonna show me how you package it. I already had an experience. When I approve it, only then are you sending it. And if it's going to cost more to send it, just tell me. I will send you the money. No problem. Just it's got to be double boxed and with fluff and all that. Okay. So I bought that. And it arrived in one piece. And I changed all the capacitors. I serviced it. I serviced the mechanical parts of the Steffiphone player. And it works. Okay. And I even had to change. So the stylus was connected to an old crystal something. So that faded. The sound was really weak. And I did like a microsurgery using the microscope. I took a piezoelectric disc. You can buy those for like 10 cents, whatever. And I cut it, and I made a new crystal for inside. And now it sounds nice and loud. So I restored it. And then I saw another listing because I was looking for Teffy tapes, right? Because now I needed the tapes, right? I only had a couple. And within the listings, I saw that this guy was selling a lot of tapes. I bought some tapes from him. And we got to talking. And he said, yeah, you know, I'm 80-something years old, and I have all these Teffy tapes, and that's why I'm selling them. And then he sent me pictures of Teffy tapes. He had a whole wall collection, right? And a few Teffy phone players. And one of them caught my eye. And he was saying, I'm not even using that one. So I bought that one for like $100 or something. And again, we went through this whole shipping thing and all. So that arrived in one piece, no problem. But I need to recap it, right? So it hasn't been serviced. You can't just plug it in. That's not how you should test an old radio. So you can start with going through a high power light bulb. 500 watts is fine, right? And a Variac, which I have. And then also you do need to recap it. You need to change all the capacitors anyway first before you even try anything. Because old capacitors are going to leak and blow your tubes, right? So that's that. So I have 3 of them. And check out Teffy Phone on YouTube. And like I said, now I'm inspired to post a reel on Instagram, just an off topic from guitars. Let me check the guitar again, speaking of guitars. So, yeah, just a little puddle. I think we can wrap it up. I think it's even safe now to put it in the case. Just a little puddle right there. Just here, okay? And here, actually. But all this is dry. And here also. But this is still wet. And I'll put it in the case. So we're going to wrap it up. But just because you're all hanging out with me here, I'm going to read the comments. See if I need to answer anything. Carl Daniel, that's right. That's right. So, as always thinking, the apartment looks very nice. My apartment. Yeah. I showed my apartment. Did you read all the books? Yeah, the books that were on the shelf behind me, I read them all. And that's where the Teffy phone player is. It's not an apartment. I own the house, right? So it's 2 floors. This was downstairs. Read all the books. Yeah, oh yeah, you. Carl Daniel. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page about the Teffy phone. Very interesting machine. Yeah, it is, yeah. So, again, I'm vague on the history, so I might have said something incorrectly. But yeah, it was first conceived as an answering machine, and the world wasn't ready for that. That was a different time, right? No AI for sure. Okay. Okay, kids, it's bedtime. Yeah. Okay, so this, now I'm going to put it away. We're going to continue some other time. So I actually enjoyed this live stream. It was more like a traditional live stream this time. But, you know, that's what I had to do to wait for this thing to dry. And this is going to be an interesting restoration, right? I have everything I need here. It's going to be a multi-live stream thing, okay? Is there anything else to be said? I did say thank you. By Grace I'm Safe says, thanks for the stream. Take care. Yeah, thank you guys. I really enjoyed it, even if I don't see you. Bye-bye.